like taking candy from a baby, or a baby taking candy from a baby. This episode of One Piece, the good stuff that it brought, I want to start off with that. The good stuff that it brought is, it definitely brought the feels. You know, the whole thing with Mocha and Chopper's voice actress, brilliant actress. You know, like her performance when she's screaming and whatnot for Chopper. You know, Chopper's voice actress, brilliant stuff. It's just really, it hits you in the heart, definitely pulling on the heartstrings. That's what this episode was very good at. It pulled at the heartstrings, and also we got a speck of epicness in the end with Luffy arriving and using the King's Haki to knock down all these fodder. So it had a little bit of tiny bit of epicness, and it also brought the feels. And as far as progression goes, we definitely finally seemingly got past the little kids shit, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. And Luffy has escaped from, you know, being in that garbage pit or whatnot. So we got a bit of progression in the episode. But the Mocha stuff, this is where it kind of, you know, the big complaint about the episode is that it took the entire episode to deal with the Mocha problem with the kids and whatnot, and the candy and the flashbacks and the I Have a Dream stuff. And it was good, like, you know, it was sad. Definitely towards, like, the middle to the end of the episode with the Mocha stuff, it was like, okay, this is kind of sad. I feel bad for her. You know, what she went through. They just want to be adults one given point. But it was ridiculously stretched out. I mean, 20-something minutes, 22 minutes, I believe, of Mocha crying and the blood on the floor and the balls in her mouth. It was just way too lengthy. They took the material and stretched it out. And with One Piece, at this point, it's almost like you never really know what episode you're going to get or what type of episode you're going to get. Because, like, last week we had a phenomenal episode, and then back once again to an episode like this where it's, like, entirely about Mocha. And it's kind of funny because they'll have episode titles like Sanji versus Virgo, or Smoker versus Virgo, Final Deathmatch. And you'll get, like, 2 minutes, 3 minutes of them fighting, and then the rest is, like, people running in the halls or other shit like that. But when you get a title of something like, I believe the name of this episode is, like, Mocha Run to Freedom, some shit like that, you get all of Mocha. So they made sure you got all of Mocha for the episode up until the end when Luffy showed up and whatnot. So I don't get Toei's logic on that particular note. But overall, the episode, like I said, it did progress some stuff, and it did pull on the heartstrings and all that stuff, but it definitely was very, extremely lengthy with the Mocha and the kids stuff when we've just been seeing this for episode after episode after episode of, you know, yeah, they wanted to be adults one day, they were tricked, we completely understood that, and then we got it again in this episode, but just stretched out. So I felt it, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, I felt sad, and it was epic at the very end when Luffy showed up, but it just felt way too lengthy with the Mocha stuff. So we did get progression, but at the cost of a very lengthy episode. So I'm going to give this one 5 out of 10. I felt average episode. That's, you know, according to my scale that I use as average. Because, like I said, the progression was there, but it took quite a while to get to that progression. And just overall, it's like I'm really, like, the whole thing with the kids has been drawn out, dragged out. And this episode was, once again, a big display of it being dragged out and whatnot. So, again, it had its moments in there. It definitely had its moments, but it was surrounded by slow pacing and dragged out scenes and whatnot. You know, we got a couple extra things. I did like seeing Zoro running and see, like, Tashiki's ass jiggling everywhere. That was alright. I'm sorry, people. Like, the episode, like, when you have this much of little kids and candy and shit like that, you notice stuff like that. And it was just like, oh, Tashigi has an ass. Cool. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with the episode. 5 out of 10 average. It accomplished some stuff, like I said. Can't wait to see more epicness with Luffy in the next episode. He looked pretty beast with Momonosuke wrapped around him. But Mocha and the kids, just glad that it seems as though we're done with this chapter of, you know, the kids running around and shit like that. And Robin, like, why isn't Robin's hand stopping these kids? It's Robin. Just saying. Let me know what you think. Did you get really emotional over this episode? Did you think it was brilliant? Was this Goda at its finest? Or what, just your overall take on the episode? Again, I had some enjoyment out of it, but just a lot of slow pacing and whatnot. But I don't want to keep repeating myself. But that's all after this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to get more of that Luffy epicness that we started getting towards the end. And just see him progress to finally kick Caesar's ass and, you know, wrap some of this stuff up. But I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.